Hey guys, it's your girl Ashley Rouge here. I'm so excited to finally have my favorite guest ever, which is my mentor, somebody I look up to, somebody that has been in my life for the last, I want to say 7 years, as a friend, as a mentor, as a coach. Lena Asher, her real name is Lena Asher, is here today to speak on just who she is, the person behind the business, the person behind the brand. I think that a lot of you guys follow her on social media and don't get an opportunity to see who she really is. And that is why she's here today, is to share how she's been able to accomplish what she's accomplished, who she is behind the camera. And I'm excited that she's given me that opportunity to interview her. So stay tuned, watch, be inspired, get excited, and fall in love. I love you.
Good morning, Ash.
Good morning. Good morning, Lena.
How are you, my love?
I'm beautiful. How are you?
You are beautiful.
Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate
thank
you.
you. Thank you for inviting. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, I know you're glad. I feel like I don't get to come to Miami often enough.
It's all right. You're busy. You're a money-making machine. You're a mother.
Yeah.
You're pretty much a superhero, so I understand.
You know where I got started. You know where I started, right? I started with you. You're like the one that really pushed me, motivated me. I'm here because of you.
Oh, that's humbling. Thank you, Mom.
Yeah, I appreciate everything you do.
I love that.
Thank you. As you know, I've been in the lash industry for a long time, 10 years. How long have you been in the lash industry, Lena?
About the same.
Oh my
11 years, yeah.
11 years.
Going on a 12. I started in 2011.
2011.
Yeah, August 2011.
And what did the lash industry look like at that point?
There wasn't none.
There
wasn't any.
There was no.
It was me and two other lash artists that I knew of back then because there was no Instagram and stuff. Instagram happened shortly after, so I only knew two people. And I was new to Miami, and they were new to Miami too. That's the funny part. One came from Colombia, and I remember it so perfectly. Her family was a distributor for Extreme Lash in Colombia. It's so funny. And another one just came from UK. So it was three of us brand new in Miami, and we kind of just... I found them through Yelp. It's so interesting. Yeah, it was pretty interesting.
Yelp.
Yelp.
I don't use Yelp.
Nobody does.
I'm being told when I got here in Miami, everybody's like, search for everything on Yelp. I'm like, Yelp? Last time I used Yelp was like 2018.
Exactly. So it was before that, imagine. Because it was nothing else. It was either you Google or you Yelp it, you know.
But before you got started in the lash industry, I don't think a lot of people know this, but you... were a real estate agent or real estate.
You know what? I was so many things. I started working at 13 years old.
Okay.
Some people know that actually. And I used to work in flower shop. It was a flower shop right in my condominium where my family lived, on the first floor, on the retail floor. And they knew me because I lived in a building. So I looked older too. I was very... responsible. I was organized, so I just asked for a little job and they hired me. So that's how I started working. So I started working before I had any skills or profession or anything like that. So I didn't know how to do anything. So from there, it just was other thing. So I would get hired in different businesses and kind of just learn how they do that. And just work. The goal was just to make money, whatever I was doing. And I always made sure that the next job would bring me more money than the current one. And if I saw that it doesn't, I would quit and I go to another thing. So I would not stay if it pays me like not enough,
So when you say money, you're always, I think your motivation, I would say, is money, because you're leaving one profession and then going to another one if it's not making you enough money.
Yes, and this is why also it's a great question, you know, what you were before and the real estate. And that was actually always the thought behind it, okay? So I realized very, very young that doing something that I'm passionate about and that I love doing, it's probably not going to work for me. You know, it works for some people, and it's incredible when that happens, when you get to do something that you really love, but it just never happened to me this way. And I realized that I just need to find something that I'm comfortable with doing, that it comes kind of like a more natural to me, so I don't hate it, so I don't struggle with it. So I go to do this, I go to work at peace, you know. And that really kind of like stuck with me, you know, since young age. And this is why I would get another job, and I would spend few months there, and if I feel that I really just can't stand it, you know, I need to be gone, and I would just be gone, and I'll find something else. So it's that combination, it's the balance between not being so obsessed with I have to do something that I really love doing, you know, and be more just willing to do something that I'm cool with, and not to get stuck. If you see later, you know what, no, that wasn't it, let me try something else. So I do give some time, and then I move on. And that's how I got to lashes, because I went through, you know, the flower shop, and I was a server. I was in retail industry, like clothing stores. I was a go-go dancer. Not many people know, but I had a go-go dancers company
Lena.
at 18 years old. That was my first company.
Wow.
I used to do clubs. I used to do bar mitzvahs and weddings, and I had 7 girls on a team. So it was just insane. It used to call Vanilla Sky.
Vanilla Sky.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
I know.
So
that
your
was
originals are
like
Vanilla Sky.
so.
You know, you said, Lena, in every business, you were always looking for peace. You're always looking for some source of peace in that business. It wasn't about the money, but you're looking for money. You're looking for money.
But money is peace for big part of it.
Okay.
You know, this is how I looked at it always. You know, for me, it's not things. You know, I don't need money because I want to buy stuff. For me, money is a problem solver. Obviously, it doesn't solve everything, of course. You know, it will not solve, you know, death and like, you know, we're talking extreme. But money solves most of issues in life. And it's not the most important thing in life, but it affects pretty much everything that is. And for me, money does bring so much peace, you know. So it's kind of like it just goes together for me.
So when you say money has brought so much peace to you, is it because earlier in your life, was there ever a time that you didn't have a lot of money? So it's like,
girl, I grew up dirt poor. My family never had money. Never. Like I didn't know what like allowance is. My parents never gave me money.
Never in your life?
Never. I didn't know what that is. I found out kids getting a little money from their parents when I was like 11. I was like, what? I'm in the wrong house.
Did they not have the money to give you,
they
or just
didn't.
they didn't want to?
No, they didn't. They didn't have any money. So
what backgrounds do what do your parents do for work?
My mom, she was all her life seamstress. She specialized in men's suits.
Nice.
But she worked at home, so she worked like privately, you know, just making things for people. She never worked for like atelier, you know, or like a studio or stuff like that. She's not, you know, business oriented person. And my father, he's an electrician, so it's, you know, it's like normal jobs, but we never really had, you know, the extras. Girl, I tried pizza first time in my life when I was 14. We never went to restaurants. We never nothing.
So
we never had like sodas in our house and stuff. No,
so
bare minimum.
Would you say your parents were a little bit more strict, like on the stricter side, or was it?
They were just poor.
She's like, no, it was just they were poor.
They were poor.
That was it.
They were poor. But you know what? I am in between. I'm glad I grew up this way, so you know now I'm like hungry for success and this, and another side of me is like, did it have to be this way though? Do you have to grow up like this to have the proper understanding of money and actually want to make money later? I don't believe so.
No, I don't believe so either, because there are people in the world who grew up with money.
Yeah.
And they're still successful.
And they're just fine.
They're just fine. And then there's people that go through hardship. But I am a strong believer that you have to go through a little bit of hardship to keep you going. Sometimes even throughout your life, before your life, even people with money, I think, go through hardship that they don't expose, they don't share with anybody. And I think that in your childhood, you're not seeing a lot of money in your family, in your household, that drove you to want to have that for you and your family. Do you feel like this has shown your family what the opportunities are when you have a lot of money?
You know what? First of all, I want to touch on the hardships, okay? Yeah. Because that was a great point. However, for me, there are two types of hardships, okay? Mm-hmm. There's the ones that teaching you and they evolve you.
Yeah.
And then the ones that scar you,
yeah.
You know, that brings you trauma for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So that's why I say, should there be, you know, that golden middle balance somehow? And that's why I teach my son about money. You know, I teach him how to earn money. You know, I try to already get in him some of the understandings that I didn't have until like later age, because some of the things, if I just knew earlier, it would make everything easier in the process. So, for example, I mean, he's, you know, 6-year-old and he's throwing garbage for me for $1. You know what I'm saying?
So now you're doing what your parents didn't do for you.
Exactly.
And you're giving them. Yeah, you're teaching him. Your son is so cute. He's he's one of my daughter's like husbands one day.
We
right?
already spoke about.
Yeah, we talked about that. Like
done.
The arranged marriage is happening. I love your relationship with your son. I think you don't share too much of it on social media. I feel like you don't really. It seems as if you don't really want to put your son out there the way that you yourself are out there. Because I would say, if you don't know, like Lena is just extremely transparent and honest and authentic on her page, shows herself, shows behind the scenes sometimes, but your son is just like, you just see your son like here and there, like it's like a picture of him, and I'm like, oh, I want more, he's so cute.
Because thanks, Ma. Because I feel like a lot of parts of my life are so public, you know, and it's always out there online, and there's some parts of my life that I just prefer to keep more to myself, you know. I don't know, it's tough. It's like I'm on social media so much, not because I love it that much, you know. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. I'm on social media because that's my business. You know, if it wouldn't make me any money, I would never have Instagram account, I'll be honest with you.
I agree.
I struggled to even with the thought of opening one, and I was one of the first ones when it just dropped. You know, when they launched Instagram, a friend of mine, she had to convince me. She was head marketing of Club Space. Mm-hmm. She was just monster in marketing. Wow. So she was one of my clients back then, and she convinced me because I was like, oh my gosh, you know, I don't really want to do this. And she told me, listen, a few years from now, if you're not on Instagram in this business, especially like something like your business, you don't exist. And I did it. But if I'm on Instagram, it's because it's for money. You know, I don't post like my dogs and my son and my salad, and you know, because I'm like, okay, will this make me money, the salad? No? Okay, I'm not gonna post it. So social media is honestly for for business, but it is the nature of social media, to go deeper, because people do want to relate, people want to feel. So part of the whole, social media management and how it's going to interact is to let them in. So you just have to decide up to where you're going to do that.
You feel like you're protecting him in a way, not putting him out there, because this isn't really his job. This is your job. Your job is social media. You're building a business. You're growing. You're empowering. You're uplifting. But you just want him to just be a child. Maybe it even goes back to you and your childhood. And I mean, at the end of the day, there was no social media back then. But you yourself, may have felt that you wanted protection from the world, what's going on.
I'm not sure where it came from. I just wanted him to have more, just peace in life more,
Peace in life. I love that.
And that's why I say that some of the things, the hardships, it doesn't have to be, super hard for anyone. People love to say, oh, I'm grateful that I grew up this way. I'm grateful I was dirt broke, almost homeless, stuff like that. But it's the same thing as people say sometimes, you know what, I'm glad that somebody lied to me and betrayed me, because that taught me and it made me stronger. It's like, in my opinion, people say those things to themselves to self-pacify, to soothe themselves, because what else are you going to say to yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, so this has sucked, okay. How am I going to process that? So people turn it into, it was good for me. It was bad, but it built me. And I just disagree.
So there was nothing in your life, Lena, that you felt pushed you? And like for myself, there were a lot of things, and like I didn't grow up with hardship. I didn't, in the sense of my family was impoverished, but I definitely felt like there was a lack of protection. I felt like my parents weren't necessarily there for me, to help me, to grow me. So I had to figure out life really early in life. Like I had a job when I was 14, and then 15, and then 6. I've been working my entire life, and I had multiple jobs to make money, to hustle, to have friends, to have a community of people around me, because I didn't feel like I had that at a young age.
And you know why?
Yeah.
Because it only takes a couple of years, once you already have the full, like not fully developed, common sense, but good amount of it, you realize that these people that surround you, whoever that is, let's say our parents, that nothing is going to come from there. And that is trauma too. Yeah. So now you hustle so much and you tear yourself apart to make it, not because you can, and someone tell you, even the same people, and they tell you, you got this, you smart, you're capable.
Yeah.
And because of that belief, you go full force and you lift yourself up. No. You do those things out of, if I'm not going to do it,
no one else is.
Nobody's coming to save me.
I got me. That's it.
Exactly. So this is exactly my point. And, this is, I think it's so important to understand in our position too, that we have children.
Yes. We have kids.
That's,
for me, that's my drive now. When I was younger, it was me. But now it's like, I have 3 daughters. Who is going to, it's always us. And I'm a single parent. So it's like, who is putting the food on the table? It is me. And if I can't wake up tomorrow and say, oh, I don't feel like doing, what, Chloe, Savannah, you're not going to eat. Yeah. We're just going to have
go
water.
hunt outside.
Air pies. My mom used to jokingly say that when I was a kid, when like we would ask for lunch or dinner. She could provide for us, but she would be like, so we're going to have air pies for dinner today. And air pies, and there are people that are going through things and don't have the means to provide for their family. But we have something. We have something special. I think you have something special. We have that drive. We have that motivation. We have the determination, and we have opportunities. As you said, you came to America and you had opportunities. And you said to me in the past, in our private conversations, when you came to America, you were like, wow, like there's so much I can do.
100%.
And that's where your hustle, you started. And I've spoken to many people before that have said, like, they look at people that are living in North America or America that come from third world countries and stuff, and they're like, when they come here, they look at us like we're crazy. Like when I'm a Canadian and I was born in Canada. So they look at me like, as a Canadian born here, you're not taking advantage of these opportunities that are here.
Ma, you know what? I'm gonna have to point all of that to being resourceful, because opportunities are there and all the time. You know, if you have like a basic capability of learning and functioning, you have 2 arms, 2 legs, you can see, like, just normal things. you can do anything because opportunities are there. However, people know that. Everybody knows opportunity is there. I can do so many things. Yeah. But what they don't have sometimes, and that's what's going to separate people that are going to make it big, and some, you know, that are just fine, you know, just enough kind of for themselves, and then other ones that don't make it at all and struggle. So what is the difference is being resourceful, okay? Because this is where you see what is it that I can use right now that I have available for me. That's what people sometimes lack. So, you know, many times, I'm going to refer to our business. Someone takes the course, and then a few months later they say, you know what, I don't know what I need, what I'm going to do. I have no clients, and I don't make any money. But then they don't advertise, they don't have anything on their social media. Well, I don't post because I don't have clients, you know. I don't even want to, I can't listen to that, because it's like people that don't see, okay? So you're saying you don't have clients. Let's say today and tomorrow you have 2 empty days completely. So what do you have? You have time. What else you have? You know how to do something. You have a skill. What else you have? You, let's say, 25 years old, 30 years old, you're young. What does that mean? You have energy that you're not going to have. If you were 75, you wouldn't have that energy, let's say. So all of these things. What else you have? You have a phone. You have internet. Okay. All of those things, those are resources. So you say, okay, what do I have? I have those things. What can I do with it? Well, you can reach out to people to be a free model and take that model, because you have free time. Do a set. You have a lot of free time. So, you know, you can spend 40 minutes taking pictures. You can put 2 hours editing them later. You can do all of those things and post it, let's say. And tomorrow you have another day. You're going to do exactly the same. So you do all of these things to promote your business instead of sitting and feeling sorry for yourself. Being resourceful is everything. It's everything, because this is literally little ways how you're going to get things. You know what I'm saying? So instead of doing nothing, you create things out of thin air, pretty much. Exactly. Going to United States, you know? Can I buy a flight?
Exactly. Can I mean, I came out here twice to see you for
training. Are there planes?
And I had 2 kids at the time, and I still was like, okay, I have to make this happen. I found a way to make it happen, because in my mind, investing in myself and using that small little time I had to come take a training with you was an opportunity that was going to help me later to build my business and my brand. And it's the only thing I'll say is, there's people out there, I think, that don't necessarily have the time. They don't necessarily have the resources. And
you always have resources. You always have resources.
You think it's just excuses then?
Of course. Listen,
I think it's excuses too.
How can someone say, I don't have resources? Do you have internet? You can learn most of things now on YouTube. You can literally learn a new skill, new profession. You can learn about marketing, about finances, about mindset. It's free. There is literally like a endless amount of free information available to you, literally everywhere that you are physically, because there's internet. Okay, so people tell me, oh, even you say, you know, I came for a class and I had kids. People tell me this all the time. Oh, I wish I could come for a class, and they from like a different state. I say, you can. You can fly here, you can drive here, if it's like a few hours away. It's like, you can. What are you saying? I wish I could. Are there flights?
Exactly.
Do you know how to drive? You can get here. Oh, but I have the kids. Well, let's take that separately.
Yeah.
Let's see who can watch your kids, or who can you bring with you alone to this trip so you can do your thing. I had that before too. I had people driving to me from, I think she was from California, with 3 kids and a husband and a mother this past summer.
Wow.
To take the class because they couldn't afford all flights for everyone. But then they're like, okay, we're going to Florida. Let's spend just 2 more days together, do something. So they made like a thing out of it. Resourceful.
Yeah,
you always have resources.
So you would say it's excuses. I feel like there's one person in my life that told me this probably like 3 years ago, and they said there's never excuse. There's never a problem. There's always a solution. So there's never a problem. There's always a solution. I think you pretty much just summed that up there and just said like you always can find a way to figure out how you're going to accomplish something.
There's always, actually, most of the time, not always, most of the times, for each thing, it will be few solutions.
Yeah.
Not even just one. So
how do you
be
find
resourceful?
Resourceful. So how do you find you're a really successful, I would say a millionaire. In my eyes, you're a millionaire.
I am.
I know, yeah, you're a millionaire. She's like, I am.
Lash makers, lash makers this year appraised at 6.4.
Holy cow. It's amazing to hear that because I remember coming to you when you were working out of your condo. That's the first training I took. When you're working at your condo, lash makers at the beginning, you had these little bags you gave us. It was great. I had a great experience. And what I saw there, and I think what motivated me at that time was I saw a mother who loved her child, because you left the training at one point to go check on your son, and then you came back, and then you were amazing, like with your motivation. When I was making excuses, I think my stomach hurt the first day I had to lay on your couch. I was like, oh, I can't even. I remember that. I was like, I can't train my stomach, and you're like, okay, Ma, you're just gonna lay there. Okay, just lay there then. You're not. You came all the way here not to take a training, and you were so like, I want to say a little harsh, but I loved it because I needed that, because I was making excuses. Yeah, my stomach's here, but I paid to come to this training. I flew on a plane to be here, and now I'm like complaining because it's hard and I don't feel well. But on top of that, you were very motivating, and you really killed all my excuses, and watching you build what you were building. And I didn't know what it was going to become today. I had no idea, but I saw a woman that was just super, super motivated, empowered, and there was no, you didn't care. There was like no shits given. That's the truth. Like there was no shits given. It's like, I'm going to get this done. You had a nanny. I wanted your nanny. I wanted to take her home with me.
She's amazing.
I was like, this Cuban woman is like, oh my gosh, she's fantastic. She was cooking. She helped us. She was folding the clothes. She was doing much. I was just watching, observing. I'm like, okay. So for me, what I took from that, I'm like, in order to be successful as a mother, as an entrepreneur, you need help. Which you just said, you need help.
A resource.
You need resource, which is one of the resources. You need help. So either if you don't have family and friends that can help you, you outsourced, because you don't have family, from what I see, that's really taking care of your child, but you outsourced. Okay, I have a nanny, and she's gonna help me. And then from there, it's like, okay, I'm getting busier as a lash artist out of my condo. I need to help. I need to hire more people. I need to move. And then from there, so tell me a little bit about how lash makers, because I think that is who Lena is. She's lash makers. You have another company that you just started. We'll talk about it later. But lash makers, how did lash makers go from a condo, training me in a condo, to the next studio, to now storefront, to now training people around the world, to now traveling? Like I see you standing up with like 15 girls, like it's like a team. It's like I look at those pictures and I'm like, yeah, I want to be a part of that. And I already took trainings with you, but I still get empowered by that, because I think you empower women, you excite women, you feed our souls. When I watch you on social media and when I talk to you as a friend, you feed my soul. You get me excited about life.
I love that.
Even when I'm wanting to give up and I'm feeling a little down and I'm like, ugh. And then you're just like, Ma.
We all sometimes.
Yeah. So what would
take 20 seconds to get back on the horse?
Yeah. 20 seconds. Get
20
back.
20-second rule, girl.
So you get like that as well? I feel like I've never seen you like that, and I've never heard you complain.
You know.
I rarely ever hear you complain.
And what for? I, I'm a very big fan of understanding your own brain, psychology, human psychology is it really helpful in life if you take the time and effort to learn about human psychology. Everything gets easier. So one of the things that I've learned is the thought processing.
Yeah.
And it was great because thoughts are not facts. And just quickly about that, just as I answer your question next, people take thoughts sometimes as, this is my reality. It is not. The way thought is created is your brain takes it makes the best it does the best to make sense of what's going on. That's what the thought is. So it only has few tools to work with. It's going to be your body temperature. It's going to be your heart rate. It's going to be what your senses, what you smell at the moment, what you're feeling. That's why if you stump the toe, it's impossible to think positive that same moment. So literally who you hung out with just a minute ago or last night, how much sleep you had. It's like it takes all of those things and it makes a suggestion how you should feel and think. Feel meaning if you're low energy or you're feeling, groovy, and the thoughts that you have. It's just a suggestion. So you have to, this is where conscious coming in place. You have to look at these thoughts that you've been suggested and this you decide yes or no. And you know what? Everybody, it's like people say, oh, just think positive. Think positive is impossible.
Yeah.
Because brain does the work for you. However, you can decide if I'm going to marry that thought or I'm going to move on. So the bad thought's going to come. The negative thought's going to come. You receive them. You process it. You finished. Now, you just distract yourself with something, let it pass, and welcome the next thought.
Yes.
So this is how you train yourself not to stay in the bad moment. So there's no such a thing as bad day.
No.
You don't marry to inconvenience or bad thing to happen to you, a sad thing to happen to you. You don't marry to that. Some people say, oh, I had a horrible year. That is awful thing to say. You know what I'm saying? So you just literally made your entire year about a couple of things that happened to you throughout the year. So this is what people need to understand. And this is why I got pretty good at this, It is really hard to upset me at this point, to be honest. Like, it has to be something major, and still I'm not going to stay there. It hits me, and I need to get back to myself, and when you understand that, the whole process, this is when you stop losing yourself when things happen. You have to focus on half glass full. You have to focus on what you can control. How can you fix things instead of rolling in your problems like piggy in the mud? Just gotta stop for a second and say, how can I fix this right now? What do I need to do? Let's just start fixing it. And this is how I think about everything, and this is how you get things done. This is how you don't get stuck in your problems, I mean, it does make you more in control, more grounded, Everything makes more sense. So that is very important part. And then about your question from, how it goes from living room into another stuff.
Yeah, like really quickly, just zoom past all of the little stuff and just get it. Yeah. How did you get there?
So this is actually kind of similar concept to it, because I process things as they come. So I don't know how to plan. So people ask me sometimes, so where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I'm like, that's a long time. Let me finish the week, I think it's silly.
Forbes top 10. I see that. Okay, Forbes. I just wanted to put up that.
You know what? It's even that, the articles and stuff like that and recognition, it feels amazing.
Yeah.
But do I have to have it in my life? No. Affirmation it was never really been much of my love language. It's like when people tell me, you're doing amazing, you know, you're killing it. And I'm like, thank you. But it's like I never needed someone to hype me up. And, you know, it feels nice, but I don't need it. Yeah, I don't need a cheerleading teams. I don't need. So when Forbes came out, I had a lot of messages. Oh my God, the DMs, the phone was blowing up. And people would call, oh my God, are you so excited? And some people told me,
oh my gosh,
why aren't you excited? And I say, I am. But it's like, it's great, but it's like, okay, let's just move on. Like, what's next? You know, it happened. You know, that's it. What's next?
I mean, that's a pretty shocking reaction, because I think any business person wants to get kind of that recognition. And I feel like because you've been self-talking yourself your entire life to motivate yourself.
Yes.
You don't need anybody to tell you nothing. And it's funny, when that came out, I felt so unauthentic when I posted it. I didn't want to post, like, share it, because I was a part of the teams of sharing it. But I felt like, I know Lena. She doesn't care about all this shit.
When people ask me, send me your bio.
She's like, what do you want? I just know you. Like, you don't care about that stuff. You're very humble. I feel you're humble, but then to the masses, it looks like you're not, because you show your lifestyle. But it's like, at the same time,
I don't think I don't think this is what not humble means.
Yeah, but that's what the world makes you think. I don't think that.
I think people misunderstand a lot of things sometimes. Just because I post my car and you know, where I live and where I vacation, it doesn't mean I'm not humble.
No,
it's kind of like not related.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
I think you think really different than a lot of people, Lena, and that's why you are who you are and you are where you are.
I just enjoy my stuff.
Yeah, I know that's great. No, I think what you have and what you've accomplished, I think anybody would be sharing that with the world, especially to show.
And that's my job.
Yeah.
So why? This is what people have to understand too. You know, I share those things because why? Because I sell business courses. I sell you know, I'm a speaker. So, you know, and when I speak mostly about success and mindset and, you know, all these things, money. How would people trust me? They don't know me. You know, even you found me on Instagram, for example.
Yeah.
How did you come to trust me? You know what I'm saying? Because you saw.
Yeah, I saw.
I can't give you what I don't have. I can't explain you how to build a business if I haven't built one.
Business.
You know, so this is where it comes down. What it comes down to. Mm-hmm. So for me, posting things and showing this is what you could do if you just do this. Mm-hmm. This is what you could have, because I wanted those things so bad. I wanted this life so bad, and I did it. So why can't I tell someone how to do it? And so if I didn't show none of those things, who am I to come and tell you how to do it?
Exactly.
Don't tell me how to get it if you ain't got it. And that's what this is about. My cars on Instagram or stuff like that, or watches, whatever, is because this is my way of gaining trust of people when it comes to buying the courses, considering going to, you know, conferences where I speak and stuff like that. So it's part of the game. It's part of the process. This is what marketing is.
Yeah.
If you selling information about business, about money, you have to market exactly that. Mm-hmm. What it gave you, that knowledge that you're about to share with somebody else. What did it give you? These things. That's what this is about. It's not about not being humble at all.
But I feel like nowadays there's so many people that are doing it the fake way. So there's people, I can help you. I can make you 6 figures in this amount of time.
I love that.
Just take my course. And I'm just
6
like,
figures.
okay, but I'm like, okay, I've never seen your business. I've never seen how you've done anything. How are you, like, what? But people are buying into that. And then there's like yourself, who it's all real. It's all, I know it's real.
Some things you can't fake.
Yeah.
You know, that's another thing. First of all, the 6 figures is always, I feel some type of way about it. What kind?
I know, what kind of 6 figures?
Is it a low 6 figures?
It's low 6 figures, high 6 figures.
Or it's like $1 away from a million? Because I need to know.
Exactly. And then it's like, what are your profit
What are you
margins?
going to teach me?
Did you make that, or did you only take away 50? And you only made 50.
But how do you know? See,
don't know.
This is exactly the thing. That's transparency, because that's literally what I do.
Yeah, you're
so
transparent.
How do you know that I can teach you how to make, you know, as a lash artist, just as a lash artist, not trainer, not anything, $120,000 a year? It's because I already done it.
Yeah.
You know, so when I had that, you could see my car, you know, when I would post my car and stuff like that. Back then I had a Maserati GTS.
Yes, I remember. I think when I came, even before then, you had a BMW X6.
650.
Yeah, 650.
I have it.
X6. I remember.
That was later.
Because I remember when you drove me back to the airport, and when I took my first ever training, and I was like, oh, this is so nice.
You can't fake that.
And I went back and I did buy a BMW when I got back to Toronto, because I was like, I like Beamers. These are nice. But it's you've always been a car person. I feel like you love cars. Like you like switching.
I love nice things.
Yeah, you like
know,
nice things. Yeah.
Ash, listen, to me, you know, everybody looks at life well spent completely different. Yeah. You know, happiness is a perception. Good time is a perception. Love is a perception. All of those things is different for all of us. But to me, I like nice things. Yeah, I like nice things. I feel good about myself when I'm comfortable. You know, and life is so short, Ash. You know it. Life is so ridiculously short. You know, I don't know how it happened that I'm about to be 36. I
oh my
don't
gosh,
know.
You're almost 36. I mean, it's okay.
I will be 40 in 4 years.
Oh my gosh.
So that's what I'm saying is like, if I work so much, I love working.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I don't know how not to work. Like any vacation that I can go to, it has to be like 3 to 4 nights, because I don't know how people go to Thailand for a month. I'm like, what are you guys doing in there for a month? So I'm like, I need my computer. I need to do photo shoot. I need to get on my phone. It's like my hands are, I can't do it. Do it. So anyways, I love working. That's what it's just I feel fulfilled and I feel happy and I feel productive. I like to feel productive. So, however, I go and I do all those things. So I make money. So the little free time I have, what am I going to do with it?
Spend it.
So exactly. So I work. To live nice. I want a good car.
Yeah.
I want gorgeous apartments, because if I spend some time not working, and I work from home a lot too, so I'm home a lot. You know, the free time, the working time, I love my house. I am an introvert. I am.
You are.
You know, so
what else do you
love to wake up and it's like water view and it's silence and it's like nice marble floor. I love this.
I know you love it. I've always known you to love it. Your apartments always have looked beautiful.
If I go to a hotel, you know,
if I stay at the nicest hotel.
The nicest hotel.
Yeah, the nicest room.
Yes.
You get everything. The nicest restaurants.
I wake up and I say, room service, please.
I feel like you're in love with this right now. Like I see so much love for this.
Because I know what I like.
Yeah.
And I say, I got you, baby.
Yeah.
You know,
so you're like your baby. You're like your sugar mama.
I am.
You're your own sugar mama.
I cannot think of waiting for someone to do things for me. Yeah. What if no one will?
Yeah.
So I wasted all these years and, you know, all this time waiting for someone to give me things that I like. So I gave it to myself and I love it. I love it here.
I think you do. I always see you so happy anytime you get something new, you always post it, you get excited. But you talked about you've been the person to bring that love for yourself, and you've spent so much time not being able, and we've had this conversation before, but it's like, how has it been dating? Like, who gets to date Lena? Because I feel like you're able to be your own sugar mama, you're able to give your own love, like you can do everything. What can a man bring to the table for Lena to make her excited, on top of the fact that, like, how hard is it as a woman, as a businesswoman, as an entrepreneur, a successful entrepreneur with money, to date people, because for myself, I've even recognized that like when you're successful and you have money, you have that alpha kind of personality when it comes to business. It's hard to find love, and it's hard to hold love, and it's hard to be in love. And men just they don't get it. They see us differently. How do you feel about that?
So to answer your question of what men can give me, it's very simple. What I can give myself.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
because if I can make this life for myself, because I feel like I deserve it, you know,
Yeah.
and I feel like this is, you know, I know what makes me happy, so I do these things for myself.
Mm-hmm.
So if I brought myself here and I'm going to be sharing my life, my short little life,
Mm-hmm.
with someone else, to bring a person into this, into what I build my entire life, it needs to be someone that can give things that I can give to myself
Mm-hmm.
too.
Yeah.
Now, when you say it's hard to date, it's hard to, you know, it's hard to have friends, you know, and it's hard
Yes.
to get a high quality team. But why? Why is it hard?
Yeah.
Because people go through life working on themselves. They do work on themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a bunch of different factors. So it's going to be mental work that you do throughout the years, right? It's going to be financial. It's going to be physical.
Mm-hmm.
So you're trying to look good, you know, working on your fitness, and you eat well, and, you know, you injections, and, you know, get your tests done, and you look and you feel good. So you physically, right?
Yeah.
Spiritually, whatever that will mean for different people. Okay, so you work on your traumas.
Yeah.
You learn about yourself, you learn about psychology, you recognize, you learn how to deal with it, how to cope, the exercises, you got yourself, you're self-aware now. So you doing that, so the person that comes into your life doesn't suffer because you function of trauma. Mm-hmm. So you do all of these things for you. Some people you're going to meet and you're gonna like and wish you could be with them,
Yeah.
as lover, as a team member, as a friend. They simply haven't done as much work on themselves as you have. That's the reality. Mm-hmm. So you will never be on the same page.
Ever.
So of course you can get someone to date. You can get 10 people a day if you want to.
Yeah.
Or friends. Of course you can have 100 friends if you want to. You know, throw parties every weekend. Of course, easy. Mm-hmm. But is it going to be people that you will be comfortable and at peace with and have mutual things in common? No. So it gets, of course, it's harder to find a person that done a lot of work on themselves.
Do you feel like you found those people, friends, a significant
other?
Yes.
Yeah. You know what? I do have very few people in my life that that I spend my time with, and I include in everything that I do, the part of my life that will always be there, I hope forever, you know. I hope so. Very few, but they're worth thousand persons each, you know, because those are people, and these people. Another thing is, it's hard to find, you know, it's hard to find. It also, you have to be very picky with your surroundings, you know, who you share your time with, because it's completely true that you become the average of like 4 or 5 people that you constantly in contact with. It's true, it rubs off on you. Yeah. And so when people say, but you know what, I just don't know anyone that's wealthy and happy and healthy, and, you know, so I can hang out with them. Mm-hmm. But it's not about that. It's about cleanup first. Yeah. It's better that you get rid of everybody else that's no good for you. Mm-hmm. Be alone. Work on yourself. Because another person that wants good surroundings, not gonna be attracted to you in any way if you hang out with losers and people that not good for you and not good for your life and for your mental health. You're never gonna attract each other. So once you, even alone for some time, but you have that all that time, you can put into yourself, rise up. Mm-hmm. Now you attract the same people. Mm-hmm. You attract people that are right for you, but when you on that level too, that they looking for. Become that person that you're looking for as a romantic partner, as a friend, as a team member. You have to become that first. Because if you did, wing everything and you kind of like, I worked on myself a little bit on this, but there's a lot more to be done, and you're just sitting, and your questionable surroundings and waiting for better people to come into your life, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
No, it's not going to happen.
You gotta be that person that you wish for yourself.
To date. Yeah.
And this is why I constantly work on myself, and I always will. Can I be more in shape? Can I make more money? Can I get smarter? Yeah. Can I learn more things that will benefit me? And this is always work, constant work, and that's life, ma.
It's constantly working on yourself.
And until you're just dead, that's it.
Until you're dead. And then you find that person and you find those friends. But I mean, I think when success grows, when you grow success, like when you make more money, I think it's hard to keep those people around, even if they're on your
because
level.
you're becoming a target.
Yeah.
Too. And when people also say, oh, looking for this person, looking for that person, find friends, find husband, I don't think about it this way either, because for me, I rather be in my little world, have my peace, and be myself. To me, lonely and alone is completely different things, because I don't need a person to be with me in a relationship, like to get love. That's not my only source of love. People sometimes don't understand love. Love comes from from a lot of things, not everything, from a lot of things in your life. It's different type of love, but you can get love every single day from different things. Your children is a source of love. Yeah. Your dog is a source of love. You going to the gym or whatever you like to do, yoga, you reading. You know what? Watching TV makes you happy. That is source of love. So you take those good emotions and the nice feelings from other people and things. Not necessarily it needs to be a romantic relationship for me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I am perfectly fine to be single for years if that's what happened. I rather that, and I rather to, if I'm want to go to dinner and have a good time, I just go with my friend. You know what I'm saying? I just go on vacation. Let's do it. I'll go with my son, with my friend. It's like, this is what I do, with my sister. I rather do that, and it makes me happy, than have relationship with someone, romantic relationship, that it's not my person and it's not exactly what I like for myself. I rather do that. People mislabel a lot of things, so you always kind of find yourself in like predicaments with people. Depression is a real thing, don't get me wrong, medically speaking, but depression, it's not always you just being sad. Being sad is normal. Yeah. So people are sad, they call it depression. People are bored, they call it lonely. Yeah. People have crushes, they say they love. They mislabel things a lot of times. And this is why it's so important to understand yourself, understand what love is. What is a boredom? You find yourself bored, go do something. Entertain yourself.
Do something.
Self-entertainment is so important, because you need to understand what is it that you like, what makes you feel nice and happy, and and you get on it. It's very simple.
And what do you do to self-entertain yourself? That sounds so wrong.
Do naps count? Because
I
do those.
You know what? I know you like sleeping.
You know what? Let me tell you. I love sleeping. You know what it is? I am not adventurous person.
Yeah.
I am not adventurous person. I don't like overstimulation. Yeah. My life is so intense, and I work with people, and something always happening, and a lot of my days is from one thing to another. It's like running. It's like 15-30 minutes between things. Let's go. I put my phone down literally right before I close my eyes, And my phone is the first thing that I grab in the morning, 5:30, 6 in the morning.
Wow.
So my life is very intense. So for me, relaxation and fun, it needs to be opposite. It needs to be something that is relaxing, that is quiet. So for me, vacations, it's not going to be climbing a mountain or skiing, because that's a lot of work. For me, is Mexico, 5-star resort, all inclusive, that your phone doesn't get much reception. This is my definition of fun. I don't do sports. I do gym, but I don't do sports, nothing that, requires adrenaline. I don't like adrenaline, because my body doesn't know the difference between anxiety and adrenaline a lot of times. And I learned that about myself. So sometimes I'm in situations that I feel my heart pounding, but I don't know if I'm excited or I'm scared. So I don't do heights. I don't do speed. I don't do underwater activities. So it's things that I just avoid to keep myself calm. And this is what makes me happy. I go to sleep very early because I love resting. I love resting. I love sleeping 8 hours a day. So I go to sleep sometimes 8:30, 9 because I'm such a morning person, and I want to be up, and I want the day to be long. Does that make sense? I like to see the sun outside. When it's dark outside, I feel sleepy.
Oh, you could not live in Canada then, because it's dark. It's dark in the morning when you get up that time. It's like super dark. And
So
it's
for
it's
me,
depressing.
I don't know how to club anymore. People, let's go to dinner at 9. No.
No, it's
Nope.
sleep. So basically you like to relax. And I think a lot of us like that as entrepreneurs, as business owners. We just want to wind down and relax and be with ourselves, because we're always going. I think it's pretty incredible what you've been able to do over the last few years, decade. It's amazing. I think you're going to continue to grow. You started another business that has nothing to do with the lash industry, Baga. I myself have purchased my Baga. Okay, it couldn't fit in my luggage, but I've totally purchased it. I love it.
When I saw your name, I was like, oh.
It's so amazing.
it.
No, when I first saw it and I felt the material, the quality of it was incredible. And I think everything that you do, you really do it to perfection. When you got into lashes, when you got into training, when you got into online marketing, you didn't just come basic. You didn't just come filming on your phone.
Ash, didn't I tell you I like nice things?
Nice things. And you bought a camera right away, took professional pictures. You marketed the right way, professional only. That's something you taught me, is to do things to perfection, and to really care about everything you put out there. And that goes along with your new company, Baga. What she put out there is amazing. The quality is amazing. It's going to be like your next lash makers baby. You're the Disneyland of lashes, right? So now you're gonna be the Disneyland, or I don't know, the Saks Fifth Avenue of clothing. Who knows? This could be the beginning of something absolutely amazing, just like lash makers is amazing. Do you see that for Baga, or is this just because I saw you on social media on a post? You just said, I'm doing this because I did what I wanted to do to make me money. I did what I wanted to do. Lashes was for me to make money.
Yeah.
It wasn't a passion project. It was money.
Yeah.
And now I'm doing Baga because this is my passion. I love clothing. Your mother was a seamstress. You came from that background. You have her there. That's probably like, oh, so my daughter's making clothes now. She's probably so excited about that. She loves it. She loves it. Yeah, she has to. Yeah. So now it's like, are you just doing this just for fun, or do you secretly in the back of your mind envision it being a Disneyland?
See, I don't envision much, like I said, long term, so I don't know where it's gonna go. But I always think to myself this way: few years of grinding, lifetime of freedom. And the freedom for me is doing what you love. This is you get to do what you love. You not have to do what you love to make money. That's the difference for me. So I did beauty industry because it came natural to me. I could do it. I liked it. I didn't love it, was obsessed with it. I liked it. It was great. And I still love it. And that's why I didn't last too long doing lashes. I put everything that I could into getting really good at this on a high level because I wanted to just learn and stop it. Let me get to the highest level I can possibly get so I can stop. so I can focus on, I just shifted my business, lash maker's business, into things that I liked better later from the actual lashes. So I grabbed that and I start investing more time and effort into learning about business and money, part of beauty industry and things like that. And so when I took that into teaching, that's what I love, that's one of the things that I love. Then I turn it into like the training, and then the products, because that's another thing I enjoy. I love merchandise, I love branding, I do all my packaging, all my labels, every single thing. It's out of my brain. I love that part. And so that's what I made Lash Makers few short years later, after I learned the actual lashes. Lash Makers for me is no longer about doing lashes since long ago. So Lash Makers became what I love when it was about business, when it was about creativity and marketing and social media, because that's what I love. Now, clothes, I always enjoyed fashion, and I love clothing. And a lot of times growing up with my mom, is, what I had is, she's a resource. If I wanted some certain dress or skirt or something, she could make it for me. So this is when I saw, okay, you have something in your brain that you really would like to exist, but you can't find it, you can buy it, you can make it. So this is when it became clear. But then I couldn't do it for years, obviously, because you need a capital, you need the audience, who you're going to sell it to.
Exactly.
Anything that you do, right? So as I got, past that point where I have to do something for money, and I have to, put everything that I am into this, when I had more free time, I had more money to play with, this is when I went back to another thing that I really love. And Baga for me is literally, I'm just making clothes that I want to wear. I want to wear. So I make clothes that for me, and I put it out there just in case someone will relate.
Yeah.
And someone will appreciate the style and the quality. And to be honest, Baga was from the beginning not for the money. That one is for the soul.
Ooh.
Because I didn't care if it's not gonna sell. I didn't care if I'm going to sell one shirt. I couldn't care less.
I have a closet of clothes now forever.
I just, that's why I made small batches.
Yeah.
I made a few things out of each stuff, and because I didn't expect it to be, oh my gosh, it's gonna be the next, Off-White or next. I don't think about it this way. It's just I make what I like, just like I did with Lash Makers, and I put it out there for someone. If they like it, great. And this is how I'm gonna do it. It did go pretty wild though.
It's doing really well. Like from
the first 2 weeks, I only had 5 items, which 3 of them is a shirt that is the same as different 3 colors. So really, I had the shirt and 2 sweaters, and I sold a little over $9,000. So I was like,
wow,
this is incredible.
Yeah.
So
that's a good beginning.
It's amazing beginning. To me, I didn't expect.
Yeah, you weren't expecting it.
So I definitely see it now. I see, okay, it's probably going to sell.
I need to get some more. I need to make some more products.
And I am. I went overboard just because I was like, oh, I want this and I want this. I want to make this. So a lot of things coming in small batches, So this is just how Baga kind of like started. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm just enjoying the ride. I love it, and I'm just gonna enjoy every day as it comes.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna see.
And I feel like that's Lena. I think you just go with the flow.
I go with the flow.
You go with the flow, and so many things come your way, so many blessings, and you're just going to continue to grow from here. I loved this. I loved talking with you. I loved everything that you had to say to everybody and to myself. I think this is very uplifting, very empowering. I think people now have a better understanding of who Lena is. Somebody the other day said I was saying your name wrong, and I think everybody butchers your name. Okay. Everybody butchers, and I see it. Like everybody butchers your name, and
Yes.
it's horrible. Like it's horrible.
But I don't mind.
I know you don't mind, and I think you're so nice and forgiving, and you look at people, you're like, yeah, that's not it. That's not it. And it's happened to me with my last name.
I don't fix people.
My last name, people butchered my last name for years. So I made this personality, Ashley Rouge, just so people would just not butcher my last name anymore. And I feel like you've just accepted it. But I want you to outro and like tell people yourself, your name, how to say your name properly, how to grow from, you know, where they're at, and to continue to just be amazing people. Like, I want you to do what you did to me when I was sitting on your couch and I was like over it. I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. And you motivated me in like 2 seconds. And I got off that couch and I went back to that model. And I think I put five lashes on her, just to end it off, because I think somebody needs to hear some badass Lena. Just say something real quick. Give it to the mom, the girl staying with her ex, you know, everybody that needs to hear your greatness real quick. What would you say to them?
So about the name, my name is the full name Elena.
Yes.
People that close to me, my friends, my family, they call me Lena.
That's
Just
me.
got the E. That's for the name. And then for the suggestion, you know, people that having hard time with things now and having hard time with people, other people, situations. I think, you know what, deep down, people know what they need to do. They're not doing it because they choose not to, for different reasons. You're scared to be alone. You're nervous what's gonna happen. You know what's gonna come next when this person is out of your life and stuff, or this job out of your life. And honestly, you always know what's the right thing to do. Stick to that. You're gonna figure it out. You're never gonna be in a situation you will say, you know what, there's absolutely nothing to do with it, that's it, I might as well lay down and die. So you always figure it out. There's always gonna be one door closes, other ones open right away. Not one, many. There are always solutions, okay? And you better believe it, that when you let go of something negative and heavy and toxic and overwhelming is when the new, fresh part of your life starts. This is what you should look forward to. It's that new beginning. It's the breath of fresh air. It's the order and what feels right and proper and nice to you. Hunt that feeling. Be after that. And discipline yourself. You know what you need to do. That's discipline. You do what you have to do, not what you want to do at the moment.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Thank you so much, Lena.
No, thank
for
you.
taking your precious time that you have. And I know you have a lot to do, to sit here with me and talk with me. I love you. You've inspired me.
I love you too.
You're my friend. You're a mentor. You're everything. I think that nobody should ever forget you. And something that I say all the time is just don't forget me. Don't forget Lena. We're here. We love you. Reach out to us in the comments. Reach out to us in our DMs and tell us about how you felt about this. And I think what you learned and what you heard from Lena today really gives you a really deep look into her life and what brought her to who she is today and who she's become and who she's going to be, because she's on top of the world on that right now, but she's going to be like on top of the world because she's inspiring and motivational. So just always maintain that control of your life, that discipline, that love for yourself. I think that love for yourself is really what's going to take you to the next level of success, is loving yourself and then putting all of that behind your business, your brand, and what you want to do and who you are. Discipline, like you said. So thank you so much, Lena.
Thank you, Ash. Thank you for having me.
And I'm happy and
It's
I'm
been
excited.
a blast.
And it's going to be great. So, yeah. Bye.
Till next time.
Till next time, guys. Thank you. Bye.
Lashes, a bad bitches. Lashes.